Hey, 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 this is Beverly. I will not be denied Bozeman. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I appreciate it so very much. Be sure and share this broadcast with your friends and your family. Be sure to turn on the notification bell so that you'll know when I drop a new video. And be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And again, thank you guys for stopping by to see little old me. I appreciate it so much. Yesterday I did a video and it was entitled Watch What God Does. And you have to go check it out to get the full understanding of it. It was good. I think it was one of the best videos I have ever done. And it is not that I'm bragging on myself. It's that I know for a fact 100% that I had a message from God directly for you guys, for me, but also for you guys. And I never have videos to where I say this is directly shown up from God. I get inspirations from the conversations that I have from God, and reading the word and watching things and just life's experiences. But this was showing up a message. Just go check it out. Basically, what he said to me while I was driving the other day, the Spirit of the Lord said, not audibly, but in my spirit, watch what God does. Basically, he's getting ready to do something. You're just gonna have to watch it. Just get ready for it. And he also said, you've been at the back of the line for so long, and people have turned around and they have pointed and they have laughed and have done everything in their power to keep you at the back. And like I said, the word was not just for me, it was for you guys, right? And when I was doing the video, I could see in my mind exactly how it was happening. What I was saying, I could see it, in my mind, us being at the back of the line and people turning around and pointing and laughing and whispering and sneaking pictures and creating secret chats and having telephone conversations, and how we are just, she's still at the back of the line. Her husband is a drunk child. Why don't she's stupid. She's just desperate, just hanging on to a man. But, stuff like that. Not saying my husband's a drunk or anything, but, those types of conversations have gone on about us, right? And when I saw what I was saying in my mind, there was no clock around. There was no time frame given. There was no indication as to how long we will continue to stay at the back of the line. But what did come to mind, and what felt like to me God was saying in my spirit, is that while you are in this place, still at the back of the line, there are things that you have got to do while you wait. Being at the back of the line is not necessarily punishment. I can't tell you how to see it. But how you can see it is as preparation time. What if you do get what it is that you've been wanting all your life? The question is, are you ready for it? Because if you are not, you're going to lose it just as fast as you got it, or you're going to be miserable. Because how does the saying go? With great abilities or great reward comes great responsibilities. There might be some people that you need to get rid of. There might need to be a shift in your mindset so you don't keep squandering money. Let's be real. That might be the very thing that's holding some people back from having a financial increase, is that they don't know how to handle money. Or maybe you got some people in your life who are just vultures. They're just leeches, no good, low down, grimy bums. And the minute you get your hands on $1, they want at least 50 cents of that. And if you don't learn how to say no, or if you don't leave them alone altogether, they're going to help you blow right through that money. So there were 4 things that kind of came to mind about waiting at the back of the line. And this includes me too, because I'm at the back of the line. And I wanted to share those things because it makes no sense for us to stay at the back of the line yet another season, another day, and we can do things to help us be prepared for the reward, the blessing, or the season of blessings. You know what I'm saying? It might not be just a thing that we're going to get. It might be a pure D5 season, honey. A pure season. We've been at the back of this here line. Seems like for 1,000 years, like, oh Lord, when you gonna get me out of this? Like, how much longer do I have to endure? And it could be a case of where this season is going to dry up. This season is going to wrap up. And it is time for us to move into another season to where we're just smiling all the time and laughing all the time and enjoying life and just enjoying the very best that life has to offer. But before we can get there, we got to partake of the happiness and the joy now. We got to partake of the knowledge that we're going to need when we get to this next season. But like I said, if not, we're going to have people around us that we don't need to have. We're going to have that same mindset that's going to pull us back. We're going to carry the anger, the bitterness, the rage, the low self-esteem, and all the things, the baggage that we currently have right now, the things that people are pointing at and laughing about and trying to, in the space they're trying to keep us in so we can't come up to the front and surpass them. Those are the things that we need to be working on right now. I can't tell you, what you need to do. That's some soul searching you got to do. That's some conversation you got to have with God, or finally do what it is that he told you to do. Because, child, if you are like me, I know there's some things that God has told you to do, not do, start doing, stop doing. But we just ain't got around to it for whatever the reason. That could very well be the holdup. Who knows? But everybody has to do their work. Do the work for themselves, right? So the first thing that I would like to suggest that we do while we are at the back of the line, look up. If, just like this, if I'm standing in line and there are people in front of me, they're pointing at me, making faces, laughing, and all that good stuff. If I'm looking up that way, I don't really see them. I see silhouettes. I see figures or whatever. I'm not really even paying attention to them. I'm looking up. That can be symbolic, right? Symbolic as meaning look up to God. Because in real life, who else you got to look at? Who else? Who else is there to look at? Real talk. Who else is there to look at? Look up to God. He knows everything. Everything about your situation. And he knows what's next. He knows what needs to change. So why not look up? Twofold. Looking up to him so he can give you guidance. So he can give you that peace, that joy, put that real legitimate smile on your face. And you ain't got to pay attention to them jokers. If you got to lean your head so far back that the back of your head touches your back, then fine. Do that. Figure of speech, but you know what I'm saying. And then the second thing that we can do while we are at the back of the line is to have a vision. Nothing should excite us more than having a vision. A vision of where we are going, a vision of the things that we're going to do, the people that we're going to help. The vision should be positive. It should be, now, some people will say make it doable. Some people say make it so big that you need God's help. Do both. There are some things that we can do in the near future on our own. We can go and volunteer somewhere. We can get started on an exercise program. We can have a vision of smiling every day. For some people, they just want peace. And if your vision is to have peace, you might want to start with watching something funny, reading something inspirational, or just smiling for no reason. That can be your vision. It's doable. But then, have a way bigger vision that will make God have to show up for you. All right. And then the third thing that we can do while we are at the back of the line is to say our daily affirmations. You can go to Amazon. You can go to Barnes and Noble, Books A Million, and you can find tons and tons of books on affirmations. You can search YouTube channels. You can go to Google and just find affirmations, positive affirmations, and kind of tailor them to what it is that you're trying to do in life. If you have a vision to where you want to be healthier, like I'm working on my weight, and there's a vision that I have for myself. So in conjunction with seeing myself in that way, I have affirmations that I say every day about my weight, about my eating habits, about how I feel. I have them written down, but I also have them memorized, and I say it at a certain time of day. And I'm getting to the point where I say it, throughout my day, especially when it's time to eat, especially when the temptation comes and all that stuff. So having affirmations, it kind of puts you in a positive frame of mind. Now, I guess a side note to that, don't tell folks what your affirmations are about. Don't tell folks you even got affirmations. Say them when you are alone. If you find it hard to be alone, whisper your affirmations. It helps, in my opinion, to say them so you can hear them. You're saying them and you're hearing them. And if you can write them down, write them down. Just get a journal of some sort, something cute like this. I think this might have been like $2 from I think might have been like Family Dollar, Dollar General. You can get fancy with it. I have another one over here. I think I got this from Five Below. It was $5. Look how big this thing is compared to this little one, and it has these huge lines, and it spiral and it folds, and you don't have to fill up the whole page. You can do one line a day, twice a day, however you want to do it. You're giving legs to your affirmations. So that's number 3, saying affirmations while we're at the back of the line. And I am so serious. If you don't hear anything else I say, hear this. Do not tell people what your affirmations are. Don't even let folks know that you have affirmations unless you have a person who is super duper supportive of anything that you do when you're trying to better yourself. Of course you can share it with them. But, for the most part, it's the people who are in line in front of you that don't need to know that you have affirmations. They ain't got none. They don't care. So why share it with them? All right. And number 4 is radio silence. And what I mean by that is when it comes to the folks in the line, have radio silence. And what I mean by that is, I think it's a military term or a covert ops term that I heard when I was watching some movie. And it was these 2 people, right? They were going on this mission. And they were talking by walkie-talkie or something. And so the person who was going behind enemy lines had to turn the radio off and could not communicate with the other person or home base or whatever because they had to focus. Yes, Lord. They had to focus on the mission. So they couldn't have the radio and talk to them at the same time. They couldn't give them a layout of what was going on or play-by-play instructions. They had to be quiet so they could focus, or else the enemy was going to hear them. And if the enemy heard them, they would have killed them. So they had to go into radio silence. Turn it off. Not just put the radio like in their back pocket, but they had to turn it off. And if they had the little earpieces, they had to turn those off. So not only could they not talk to the people that were back there, they couldn't hear what they were saying. So they had to rely on what they already had with them. So in terms of us being at the back of the line, honey, we got to implement radio silence to the folks who are in front of us. And what I mean is stop telling them everything. And if you know that they are talking about you like a dog in the street, why are you telling them anything anyway? I should not have to tell you stop telling these folks everything. Side note / disclaimer, if you feel it's necessary to stop talking to them for a season, then hey, do what it is that you gotta do. We talking about your life. We're not talking about their amusement. We're not talking about them entertaining. We're not talking about you giving them tea to pour. We ain't talking about that. Let them go find that mess somewhere else. Okay? Let somebody else help them with that. When it comes to being at the back of the line, me and you, we gotta have radio silence when it comes to the folks in the line in front of us. I am of the mindset that I am not going to give you a stick to hit me with. You're going to do two things if you're going to talk about me. One, you're going to talk about some old stuff. Or two, you're going to make up some stuff. And with that, if they are making up stuff, when the truth come out, people are going to see that they are a liar. Okay? And if they're talking about old stuff, even if they got receipts, it's going to be a case of, but that's old. That's old, though. That happened a long time ago. You ain't got nothing relevant. That's how I am. But you handle it how you need to. But radio silence, for those who are in front of us, hey, let that be what it is. Anyways, that's about it. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. Be sure to release your genius. Pull off the impossible every day. Remember, you will have whatever it is that you say, so be positive when you speak, Queen.